Angelo. When you learn, teach, and when you get, give. Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones, and being an educator at heart, I'm dedicated to sharing conversations that inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. So we have an awesome show, and I want to say hello again to everyone. I've been away for a little bit, so I'm happy I'm back. As you can see, I have an awesome guest with me, so I'm really excited to begin our conversation. We have Wendy Woodward here. She is the owner of Bree Woo Natural Hair Care and Beauty. So we're going to talk a little bit about her, how she started this business and her products and the benefits of using her products. But again, I just want to say, I'm saying welcome back to myself. So it's good to be back in studio. I want to give a shout out to Strong Island, Paradise Studios, Bobby, awesome. So I'm happy to be back. So you know what, let's get started. So we have Wendy Woodward here, and again, she is the owner of Bree Woo Natural Hair Care and Beauty. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. We met we met a couple of places.
We met a lot of
places.
Right.
We met at the Ujamaa Fest,
yes,
which was awesome.
Yes.
The Facebook page, the group, Black Long Island, they hosted a Ujamaa Fest around the Christmas holidays.
Yes.
So we got a chance and the opportunity to meet then. We also met at the Curl Expo that Victoria Stanton organized and put together, which was amazing.
It was
the
amazing.
concept of that was just so great.
We need that here.
We need that here. It's always in Brooklyn, Manhattan, so we
Yes.
had the opportunity to have it here, so we met again there. So I was delighted that you agreed to be on the show because I think it's very important for people to have options, to really have natural hair care, curly hair. It's a trend, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So we need to know how to take care of our hair and how to get the best products for us. So yes. Tell us a little bit about why you started your company.
Well, I started it as a hobby.
Okay.
I went natural and I was using everything. I was trying to use the products that I used when I was relaxed. They didn't work.
Right, very different,
my natural
right?
texture. I'm like, what's going on? Why is this not working? It seemed to work on my relaxed hair, but with my natural hair, my hair felt horrible.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, this is not working. Is my hair supposed to feel like this? I mean, I've been relaxed since I was like 5 or 6, so I didn't know what my natural texture was supposed to feel like. But I just knew it felt like hard and it felt dry.
Yeah.
So I was like scouring the internet. I was on YouTube until my eyes felt like they were going to bleed. Just trying to figure out how to deal with my own natural texture. Read a lot of books and curly hair on forums, hair care forums and blogs, like just trying to figure it out. And I couldn't find anything that would actually keep my hair moisturized.
Right, and that's like the most important thing, right? Yeah.
I found things that could help me style it. I found all these other things, but I couldn't find anything to keep it moist.
That moisture.
And that was like a big thing for me.
Right.
So I started with being on YouTube all the time, I started looking at tutorials and I'm like, let me try to make my own products.
Wow, okay.
So I have my background in hair, cosmetology. I went to school for cosmetology.
Okay.
So I've always loved hair care. I never cared about styling too much. I always cared about the health of the hair.
Right,
so,
okay.
I went on this crusade trying to figure out what was going to work on my hair. So I started mixing up stuff, made a lot of mistakes, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was like, this is fun. Like, it was the thing I like to do.
Testing things out, seeing what works, what holds the moisture in, what works, what doesn't work.
And I was my own guinea pig, and then I had a few other people that was like, no, I'll tie it, different textures and stuff, just to see what would work on different hair textures.
Right.
I hadn't thought of it as a business. It was just still my hobby.
Okay.
I just enjoyed doing it.
Right. And you found a product that worked for you.
Yes.
Right, your own product.
Yes. So when I actually decided to package it, and it's because people were like, oh, what do you use in your hair?
Right.
I mean, when I went natural, it wasn't extremely popular then. So people
were
like,
when did you make the jump?
2009 is when I stopped relaxing.
Okay.
So it was like, around here, it was like, yeah, what's going on? You're right? Like, you're not going to get that blown out? And I'm like, no, I like it.
Right.
So people started to follow and like, well, I'm going to try to go natural. And they started asking me, what are you putting in your hair?
Right.
So I started making it for them. and I was just giving it to them. But after a while, they were coming back, and then they were sending people. Thank goodness. I mean, it was nice.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can't afford to keep giving it to you.
Giving it away. Right.
So
exactly.
I decided to package it, and still I didn't think of it as a business.
Wow.
I still thought of it as my hobby that was packaged pretty.
Okay. Right.
I didn't start thinking of it as a business until I was putting so much money into it, like because I loved it.
Yeah.
I was just like dumping money into it. I'm like, wait a minute, this is starting to get a little expensive.
Right. Exactly.
So
exactly.
then I started
really thinking it.
Like,
and as a matter of fact, when I saw you at the Curl Expo, you had just mentioned to me that you were taking classes and that you were, so you can really hone in on the business end of things.
Absolutely.
Because, like you said, it's just a hobby when you're not thinking of it as a business and not making money from it.
Yes.
So when did you finally realize that that's what you needed to do?
Well, I was struggling just because I'm like selling the product, and I'm selling the product, but I'm not really seeing any money from the product. Like I feel like I'm just dumping it back in, and it's no real direction.
Right.
So I have a cousin who they have a security business, and they were like, you have to go to this class at Hofstra. They, it's an entrepreneurial class, and it's great. Okay. So I was like, I kept putting it off. Right. Put it off for like at least 2 years, and then finally, and I'm asking her like for advice, and she's like, you really
need
have
to go to
take
the
this
class,
like, because I mean, it'd be beneficial.
Right.
I made the time in my schedule. I mean, I just recently did it this year.
Okay.
It actually ended in May, and it was the best thing I ever could have done. Like just to kind of get my business plan in order and kind of see where money needs to go. Right. It was the best thing that I could have ever done.
So how long when did you first start the making products?
In 2015.
Oh wow! Okay, all right. Yes. So you're new at this, right?
New. I'm very new. I mean, I was mixing it, but I didn't package it until 2015.
Okay.
Really.
Oh, all right.
So,
okay.
The mixing, I don't really count anything before then because I'm like I was playing with it.
You were playing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And even in 2015, I was still playing with it because it was still my hobby. I didn't start getting serious about the business until I would really, to be honest, I would say when I did Ujamaa. Oh. I had just really started vending and getting out there because I'm shy. So I'm like, I don't really want to be out there. But that's when I feel like my start was.
Really kind of, the mindset kind of shifted a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. So tell us about your products. What's in your products? What are the benefits of your products?
Well, my products pretty much, like I said, the line focuses on moisture. I try to keep it moisturizing, and that's really what I focus on.
And what's the best product, or what's the number one product that you tend to sell that deals with the moisture issue?
I would say, I mean, because it fluctuates sometimes.
Okay.
Like, sometimes it's like the leave-in is heavy. Like it's the biggest thing ever. The luscious leave-in is like the heaviest thing ever. And then I introduced my my cleanser.
Okay.
And then that became like the heavy product.
Got it.
Like,
okay.
because it's moisturizing.
Like in stages. Okay.
So it's like it kind of fluctuates. But I would say probably, if I had to average it, I would say the leave-in, the luscious leave-in is like the biggest. Like people like, listen, I because it's like a 4-use. It's a co-wash, it's a detangler, moisturizer.
Okay.
So it's
4 in 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm gonna sell somebody, you got to get this product. I'm gonna say that product first because you can you could do so much with it.
Multi-use, exactly. And what are some other products that you have here that really? They're all beneficial, but what are some other products that you can kind of highlight for us?
The twisting butter is another. It's a styler. It's my only styler, really.
Which one is that one?
That one is this one.
Okay.
The twisting butter it's moisturizing, so you could use it as a moisturizer, and it's a twisting product, so it actually will hold. It gives you like a soft but firm hold.
Okay.
So your hair still feels soft. Like I don't know. I'm just like focused on this feeling nice. I like my hair to feel nice.
Nice, right?
I mean, I like it to look good, but I need it to feel nice too.
So when you would use this as your hair, you do a 2-strand twist with it, and you apply this, and just leave that in, and all right.
And twist it. I mean, normally, like today, it's a blowout, and this humidity is not loyal.
Right? No, it's not. Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking like a lion right now.
But your hair's beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So now, how do you mainly get your products out to market? And are there any plans to? Well, first tell me that, and then you can tell me maybe some of the plans that you have.
Pretty much. I mean, like I said, I just started like vending. So vending has been my big
Right.
introducing it to more people. I mean, I've had my friends and family pretty much on board. They've known about it since 2015.
Right, of course.
But just to get introducing it to other people has been the vending, which is, you know, was my fear, but
Yeah.
it actually is a great thing
Yeah.
for me. So that's the thing that actually the way I get out to market. I sell it online for the most part. I have a website that I sell it from, and I ship pretty much anywhere in the United States.
Okay, okay.
And I do have locally pickup options where, because people are like, I don't want to pay shipping.
Right. So they'd rather pick it up.
Yes.
So what other plan? Well, we were talking about, you know, because the name of your company is Brewu Natural Hair Care and Beauty. So what is the natural? Because I know there's so many different products in so many different ingredients and a lot of products that we use that maybe we shouldn't.
Yes.
So are your products natural based, and how does?
They're natural based, and most of the products are just preserved with food grade preservatives. So the shelf life is, you know, it's not like 5 years. You
Right,
know, like
okay.
some things that people are used to. We're used to going to the beauty supply store, it sits there.
Exactly, forever.
But with natural products, you can't do that. You have
Right.
to use them or lose them.
Right, exactly.
So-
And how does someone know if they're, because often I'm like, I don't know if I should use that. Is it something, does it turn? Does it go bad? Like what happens with them?
Normally, like, it depends. I would say, like, I've used products, you know, some of these products, like, when I was first doing it, up at, like, a year and a half.
Okay.
But I normally give the shelf life, like, a year.
Okay.
You know, and now on my packaging, I'm having, like, I have how long they should have it.
How long they should have it. Okay. And what are the plans for, do you want to take it, you know, Brewu to market, and how does that even look?
Well, I'm still trying to figure that out because it's a natural brand.
Right.
And I feel like I'm a little too connected to it. So I don't want to sitting on a shelf and just losing the shelf life right now. So I want people to use it. So I'm looking at more salon based, that kind of thing for now until I kind of can figure it out. But I really want to, sitting on the shelf, it's just going to sit there. I mean, people will buy it, but it's just going to sit there, and I don't want the shelf life to be an issue.
Right.
So right now, I haven't really been focusing on retail or big box or anything like that. I've been focusing on more,
like you said, the salons.
Yeah, and
that's
like
smart. That. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I know that, and I can say from personal experience, I've used this product, the leave-in conditioner, and it is amazing. And when we first met, this is the one that you suggested to me. So I said, all right, I'm going to go with this one. Now, how can people, if they would like to buy your product or learn a little bit more about you, how can they get in contact with you?
They can contact me on my website. I have a contact option there.
Okay, I think we have the contact information. If we could just show that as Wendy's speaking, you know, people can jot that down. Okay, go ahead.
That's the best way to contact me because I get it immediately and I see it immediately because I'm like, it's coming from my website. So I really, you know, it actually weighs like, oh, wait, my website, you know, so questions, comments, or anything can go through there. That's the best way to contact me.
That's the best way to contact you. And website is?
It's brewu.com. And simply Brewu.
Okay. How did you come up with the name of the? I wanted to ask you that.
Now the name is a funny story. I have not a creative bone in my body, so
yes, you do. You have to.
Well, as far as coming up with things like, you know, names of things. So when I was thinking of the name, I was thinking of like, okay, what can I name this? When I first went to package in 2015, I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I'm like, okay. And some people call me like Breeze, so I used to shorten it to Bree.
Okay.
And then my last name is Woodward, and people would call me Woodwood or Woo Woo. So I just connected them.
Nice.
You know? So it's just
that's easy enough.
Yeah,
makes sense, and it's who you are.
Yes.
You know, so you know, and I can tell that you're passionate about what you're doing, and the name is befitting because it's you.
Yes, it's me, and I do internalize it like it's me. Like I do. It's like I think that's my gift and my curse, though.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, what do you mean?
What? So I want to thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having
guys
me.
out there, go to brewu.com to learn more about Wendy and to get her products. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take we have a phone call coming in, but we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our Poetry Slam scholars in the house. So again, Wendy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All righty.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Eugenia, and my piece is called I Am Here. a chance to be heard, and a chance to be seen in a crowd full of people that all want the same thing. We want to be noticed, and cared for, and loved. And that's what she gave me. My mother, though not by blood. She's older than me and stronger than me, but sometimes I question if she's wiser than me. Thank you.
The name of my piece is Lack of Color. I am the night sky, dark and mysterious. I am the oil in your car, the rubber of your tires, essential and necessary for motion. I am the dreadlocks of a beautiful black mother, the worn hands of a hardworking black father, Obama's black hair before we wore him gray. I'm the very bedrock on which any great nation is built. Like
My name is Mandy Wagner. This poem was written in response to the Emmett Till murder of August 28, 1955, after he whistled at a white woman. Just in 2017, on her deathbed, Caroline Bryant revealed that all her allegations of attempted rape and grabbing were false. This is my response to her. Emmett, she said she didn't mean it. Kind of like the way we say, my bad, when brushing against someone's side, like how they wanted to make you sorry for being alive, like your mama only raised you to die. She didn't mean to lie. It was an accident. Unprecedented. She was under attack, and well, you just happened to be black at the wrong time. Had a little boy's casket open for the world to see, showed America that girl Caroline, social victory, Emmett, barbed wire wrapped around your neck the way your church tie used to that day. You shouldn't have been black. You should have gone to Sunday morning service. You should not have been black. You should have listened to your uncle's sermon. You should not have been black. You should, but it's okay, because at least she didn't mean it. Thank you.
Oh, hi everybody. As you see, we are back, and what we just showed you were clips from our Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective, and those were our Poetry Slam scholarship winners, and they were amazing. And as you see, I have one of our winners here, Mandy Wagner, so thank you very much for coming. And we also have Eugenia Rodriguez on the phone. Eugenia, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, so Eugenia is on the phone. Julio is not here at the moment, but we're going to continue on. So one of the things that I wanted to say, Mandy was our first place winner. She was, yay. She was absolutely amazing. And as you can see from the brief clip that we showed, you can tell how talented these students were. Eugenia was our third place winner, and what I want to do is kind of get a sense of how you guys came, first of all, how you guys found out about the scholarship and your experience and why you decided to even apply. All right, so Mandy, we'll start with you.
Well, I found out about the scholarship the way I found out about most scholarships. Okay. Either the guidance department and then my English teacher, Miss James. She always hooks me up with stuff. So that's how I found out about it. And I was just like, oh, I do this all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. And just to let you know, this is my first year of doing the scholarship. Oh. And I was really nervous about students actually applying. So I was like, oh, I hope somebody applies. I hope somebody applies. So we were fortunate enough to have a nice amount of students that actually applied. So Eugenia, how did you find out about the scholarship and why did you decide to apply?
I actually had a teacher inform me about it, and my guidance counselor also let me know, and there were flyers all over the school. So immediately when I saw it, I got so excited. because I've always written poetry, so I wanted to apply right away.
Nice. You know what? And that, I'm glad you said that, because Mandy mentioned it, Eugenia mentioned it, your guidance counselors and your teachers. Your guidance counselors, they are the holders of so much information that you really need to, you need to know them. You need to become friends with them, because they will really, like you said, they will hook you up. So, so we had such a great time that afternoon. I wasn't sure what to expect, because like I said, it was my first time doing it. So I was a little nervous about it, but then when I saw you guys, your video, and who I had to select from, I was, I'm like, this is going to be good no matter what, because you kids are amazing. Eugenia, I just want to, if you could briefly tell our viewers, what was your poem about? Eugenia? Oh. All right. Eugenia, turn off the video on your phone, because we're getting the feedback from it. And while you're doing that, Mandy, if you could tell the people what your video was about.
Sorry,
I mean,
you're cutting off.
That's all right. What your poem was about.
Okay. So my poem was about, well, it was my response to Carolyn Bryant, the woman who paused, well, how do I even explain it? But the woman who was whistled at during the whole Emmett Till occurrence that happened, and the one who said on trial that he attempted to rape her, that he was trying to harm her, and which justified the violent murder, and ultimately led to the acquittal of the two men who killed him. And in 2016, on her deathbed, she released a book saying that she lied about all of her claims, that none of that happened, that she was sorry, and I was just like, well, sorry.
Right, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't justify.
And the thing is, when I first saw, you reciting the poem, in my mind, it's like, wow. You're a young person, and that you would go back to take a look at, what happened to Emmett Till. What made you want to respond to that and have did you have to research what happened when the story came out, or did you learn about it? Like, how did you even know about the incident?
I don't know. I think I'm really just really interested in history in general. So I, of course, knew about it beforehand. It wasn't really researching what happened. It was just like me seeing an article about her saying that she was sorry, and that was when I remembered the pictures that I'd seen when I was younger, and the stories about what actually happened, and like just pictures of him before any of that happened, how beautiful that little boy was. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that, I was sharing with someone that what your poem was about, and they did not know about Emmett Till. And when I told that story, I'm like, how can you not know about what happened to this child? Right, exactly. So it was a very powerful poem. So I appreciate that. Eugenia, can you hear me? Eugenia?
Hello. Sorry.
Hi.
I keep cutting off so much.
That's all right. Can you tell us a little bit about what your poem was about?
Okay, so my poem was a metaphor that I was pretending that I was speaking to my mother the whole time until the end, where I revealed that I was actually speaking to America, or our country, and it spoke about how basically an immigrant lives in this country, and how you grow up believing that you're free and everything, and then when you're a little older, you come to the reality that it's not as easy as people make you think it is to live in this country as an immigrant, but you got to keep going, and you got to keep pushing through, and you have to just overcome everything and know that your differences make you who you are, and
Right. And you know what? It's such a timely poem that you recited. And as I was thinking about all of our scholarship winners, I was very curious to know if you all were first generation.
I'm first generation American, but second generation educationalist. Yeah.
Okay,
But my
okay.
parents, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, and Eugenia, I don't know if are you a first generation American?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe,
Julia.
and so is Julio. So, it really
Yeah, I
moved.
think he is.
He is, right? So it really moved me to know that
I believe so.
you guys are taking advantage of what is here, what's offered. How did your parents kind of influence? I mean, you guys are very successful. I mean, Mandy was the valedictorian of her class, and Eugenia is like number 4 in her class, or 5, or whatever it is. But you guys are all brilliant, and Julio as well. So, do you think that your parents, or you being first generation, really had an influence on how well you wanted to be, or the success that you wanted to have? I'll go to Mandy first, and then Eugenia, you can speak to that.
Yeah, definitely, because it's just that drive that they speak about, and how when they tell you what they went through to come here, and just what the stakes were, and I have it so much easier.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why I shouldn't be
No
as
excuses.
successful or more. Yeah.
Right.
So I feel that anyone who's born in this country and has all the facilities and the opportunities to succeed, you must take advantage of them, because there are people who don't have them and they want to. So yeah.
Right. Eugenia, is the story similar to you as far as you wanting to, be successful, and you are successful? So how did that influence you?
Sorry, I can't hear like anything.
You can't. That's all right. I was just asking
I
you.
have no idea.
I was just asking you in reference to you being a first generation American, how that impacts you, and how your family impacted you in being as successful as you are.
Yeah, so honestly, being a first generation immigrant is very empowering, because I feel like I can inspire not only other immigrants, but also my family to push forward and to keep working as hard as you can, because that's the American dream right there. It's just being happy and working as hard as you can to get the best outcome in life, and just, being as hardworking as you possibly can be. And I feel like I am pushing forward and proving that to a lot of friends and family.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, and it shows. It really shows in the way that you guys present yourself, and how the schools that you're going to. Speaking of which, Mandy, let's talk a little bit about what your future plans are. Yes. I know now's the time where you're gonna probably start your orientation soon. I would think, right?
It's the week before school starts.
So it is the week
August
before.
26th.
All right. So tell us about where you're going and what you're doing and all that.
All right. So I am going to Columbia University. I'm majoring in political science, and creative writing will be my concentration.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pre-law. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm excited.
Wow. What was the process like for you to get to college?
This year, or just
in general? Like, what did you do to make? Okay, because Columbia has a lot of valedictorians.
Yeah.
Right. They have a lot of students that apply. It's very, very extremely competitive.
Definitely.
So, what did you do to kind of set yourself apart from other applicants?
Okay. So, I believe that anyone who applies to college needs to have their own story. So that's what I realized, that I'm one of the 40,000 kids who are applying to this school.
Right.
They're all doing great. What do I need a message. I need to say who I am, so that whenever they read my application, they will see how I'm different from anyone else, because I have a clear message. So I thought about what I truly want, and what I want to major in, and how I want, what impact, what can I do for them. It's not about why I want to go, it's why they
want you.
Exactly. Why they want me.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I talked about all my extracurriculars and everything on one part of the Common App, but for the essays that said why Columbia, I said because this is the school that will help me help others, and so I really delved into the problem with mass incarceration and the hyper incarceration of blacks, and how the discrepancies between minority and how much we take up the population of America versus how many are exactly the size of the prison, and just the historical background of why this even happens and why this is a problem, even though they say, oh, maybe that population is just more likely to commit crimes.
Yes.
But the same crimes are not treated the same way. So I just talked about how even how through law and even if I pursue politics, how I'd want to make a change, and even with my writing, how I want to make people aware of the issues, because when your favorite character is going through something, it hits you way harder than if you just hear a story on the news, because it's not personal for you. If you hear about how they grew up and you get invested in their relationship, you care about if they fall in love. You also care about if they're stopped for something they didn't do.
Absolutely. This is such, I mean, it's something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that needs to be looked at. I mean, it's just, you know, the statistics and the disparity is just, it's outrageous. And the profit that goes into mass incarceration,
multi-billion-dollar.
right? It's unbelievable. You know, it's mind-boggling. You know, and it's all, you know, Black Americans were enslaved. And now we're seeing that in a different form.
Exactly. And then just the socioeconomic ramifications it has on the Black community.
That's right.
When 1 in 3 Black men go to prison, who is raising these kids?
Who's raising the kids? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's definitely powerful work. So I'm going to be keeping track of what you're doing, because I want to hear about it, because it's something that I think needs to be addressed. We talk about the school to prison pipeline. You know, that's a topic that I've talked about, and I've had some guests on talking about that. So that really is something that, you know, needs to be looked at as well, you know. Eugenia, I want to bring you into this, because I want to get a sense of what you're going to be doing next, you know, in the fall.
Oh, so in the fall, I'm going to be still working. I have a summer job, but it's going to continue until December, because I actually got accepted into the spring semester at Binghamton. So I start in January. And yeah, I'm going to orientation in August.
Oh, okay. All right. So how did you decide on Binghamton? I mean, Binghamton is like the best SUNY school. So how did you decide to go there?
I read a lot about the school, and I was looking for a SUNY school specifically. So I looked up the best schools for English, because English is my favorite subject. So I want to do something in that subject, in that major. And I also looked for theater, and this school happened to offer both. So I thought it was the best choice out of the ones that I researched.
Right. Oh, that's great. So, you know, it's cold in Binghamton. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I am perfectly fine with it. As long as I get that education.
All right. So and this is kind of for both of you, how was the process of actually applying to college? You know, you talked about setting yourself apart and all that, but what was, Mandy, what was the process like actually doing all of that work?
Oh, Lord. I only heard half the question, sorry.
Hold on, Eugenia. We're going to talk to Mandy about the actual process of applying and how that was.
So I was lucky enough that my English teacher in junior year had us write our Common App essay. So the 600-word essay was out of the way.
Wow. In junior year?
Yeah, in junior year. So, and in senior year, we only just it was another assignment. I just handed the same one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But that one was done. And that's the essay that goes to every single school.
Right.
So that was that. And I should have started earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I know I should have. It's just so daunting.
It is daunting.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I ended up applying to 17 schools, and it was miserable. It was the worst month of my life, because I would go and I'd sit and I'd look, and they would ask, and it's so many schools, and everyone, they're asking for different things, why you want to go. I don't know why I want to go. I want to go because it's a good school.
Yeah.
But you have to look up.
You have to look. That's right. That's right.
And that's what. So yeah, that's the hardest part about because
True.
I can write about what I want to do and everything, but no, I gotta say what I want to do at your school.
Right, and that's such, Mandy, I'm so happy that you said that, because when students apply and they fill out these applications and there's a specific question about why do you want to go to this school, and you write some generic answer,
They know.
they know. You have to, I know one of the things when our daughter was applying, Maya, she's over there, when she was applying, she actually looked at the curriculum for her major.
Yeah.
And she was able to speak to that, that major.
Exactly.
And it does make a difference. So there's a lot of research that you have to do.
You need to say what classes you would like to take,
Right.
what teachers you'd like to work with,
Right.
what research you would like to explore, what programs are there. Like, you have to say what you want to do there,
Right.
And they'll know if you don't really want to go.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's what was, I think, the most challenging part about it, is like looking into all these schools and writing. They all ask for a lot, man. It was like 250 words here, then 500
It
there,
adds up,
then
right?
Yeah, it adds up. Oh man, I remember even on Christmas I was here typing away, and the thing is, I didn't even plan to apply to so many, but it was just all my schools are so selective that after a while I was like, oh, what if I don't get in there?
If you don't get in, that's right.
And then I was like, all right, let me add this one.
You have
but I was like, what if I don't get in there?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when the acceptances started rolling in, that's when I could breathe
You
again.
could breathe, right.
Because I was like, if I don't get into any, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Eugenia, what was your process like as far as your applications itself? And like, was that overwhelming? Did you apply to a lot of schools? Like, how was that for you?
Well, I actually only applied to 2 schools because I went through this whole issue. I actually decided to change my majors last minute. So in January, when we were all applying to schools, I wanted to be a chef. And then when I actually went to apply, I just thought that that's just not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
While I was typing in the application, searching,
Oh, God.
I don't know, something came to me, and that same day that I applied to the colleges, I switched, and I was just going crazy looking for
A school.
the colleges. So
Right.
then I found Binghamton and Cortland, so I applied to those 2.
Wow.
And yeah, it was just crazy because everyone thought I was insane for changing my major so instantly, but it just came to me, I love cooking, but I'd rather use my creativity in words, and because words are just so powerful, rather than in the kitchen, because I can cook anything.
That's
but
right.
When it comes to writing, I'd rather, put my words out there and enjoy that. And I also love theater, so I'm going to double major in English and theater.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. What advice would you give, since you had that shift and that change, what advice would you give students that are they think they want to do one thing, but then it ends up they want to do something else? What would you tell, what kind of advice would you give them?
Honestly, I would say go for it, because if there's a little doubt in your mind that you don't want to pursue a certain career, or you're only pursuing that career because of the money, then don't do it. I just think it's more about what's in your heart rather than what's in your mind and what you should do. I feel like you should do what you want to do, not what people are telling you to do. And I feel like once I got over that, it was just a completely different story, and I became just myself. Finally, I felt like myself.
Right. It's I think a lot of students also get in the mindset of, I have to find a major, and they really, right, you can be undeclared. I'm of the belief that, it's nice when you do know what you want to do, but,
nice.
Some students really don't. They might not have had experiences that inform their decisions about what major they want to do. One of the things I recommend for parents always is get your children into activities that they're interested in, and then if they're not interested in anymore, get them into something else that they might be interested in. It's like trial and error. So if they have a passion for something, put them in that passion and let them explore that to see if they really want to continue. That. That's definitely important. I mean, and you said words are powerful, and from both of you, from your poetry, you can tell your words were powerful. It's a lot of thought put in. Another thing that you both, Eugenia and Mandy, have in common is that you've been in a lot of the same plays.
Yeah, we have.
Which I thought was great. What is it about the theater that excites you? Mandy, we'll start with you, and then Eugenia, you can respond.
I just have always loved musicals, like watching them, and I've always loved singing, even though I don't even know why, but sometimes I have stage fright when singing. Even though I don't have stage fright anytime else, and it's so straight. But I love to perform, so it's like, it's such a weird
Right, you were in Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
Eugenia, you were in Guys and Dolls also, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So Grease, Annie,
Hairspray.
There's a lot.
Right, yeah. And
The Heights.
And the Heights also. Yeah. Eugenia, what is it that you love about being on stage?
Sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Yep. What do you love about being on stage and all the performances that you've had?
Being on stage is like my little escape because I'm usually an introverted person, so I keep to myself. I'm pretty quiet, but when I'm on stage, it's a completely different story. I just light up, and I love the audience interaction, and I just love being up there and singing. I'm obsessed with musicals, with Broadway. I just love that environment so much that I keep coming back to it.
Right. And that's you want to be on Broadway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day.
One day, that's right. So I can't wait to make sure you remember me because I want a ticket to the show.
Definitely. You will get one.
All right. You got to put it out there in the atmosphere, to make it come
Speak it into
that's
existence.
Right. Speak it into existence. So one of the last things that I want to kind of talk to you guys about is in reference to the Poetry Slam scholarship itself. What was your experience at the event and going through the event, and what advice would you have for someone who wants, because we're doing it next year, what advice would you give someone who wants to do it next year? Mandy, we'll start with you and then Eugenia.
I had a great experience. It was a really fun time, and I loved how it was like a close-knit type of performance. Like everybody was sitting down. It was nice. It made me feel comfortable because everybody I looked looked comfortable. And the advice I would give is that come with a poem that you want to speak. Yeah, don't come with something that you don't know that well or you're not really sure about. No, just come with something that speaks to your heart, something that you want to share with the world, and you'll be comfortable with it because that's something that you want to project.
Right. Yeah, one of the things that I also tried to do, and I'm sure you noticed this too, everything that I usually do is always family. Like I must have had, like all my family literally
really
was there.
Your son, everyone.
So, I really need to take the time to say thank you to all of my family. I mean, my son, my daughter, my husband, my brother, my nephews, my mom, my dad, my granddaddy. I mean, like everybody was there. My bestie was there as well. She was, she's very good at organizing everything. So shout out to her. But it was really a great event. And one of the things that I also love was getting to meet your families.
Yeah, I loved my family for coming. They had a great time.
And that was really a lot of fun as well. So Eugenia, same question for you. What would you share what your experience was, and also what advice would you give a student who applies for the Poetry Slam scholarship?
My experience was actually really interesting because I felt so welcomed and comfortable in the environment because everyone was there that was there was so supportive, and the poets and the authors were just so amazing and open to talking about their work and how they got there. And that was actually very fun, and I really enjoyed it. So I would tell someone or someone who would apply in the future that it's one of the best experiences they'll have with poetry, because one thing is performing, but another thing is meeting other performers that just love the same thing that you love, and meeting a bunch of authors is just incredible, because I actually never got to meet authors in that way. I kind of just like watch YouTube videos or read about them. So it's really fun and so informative to actually speak to the authors and get a book signed, which was amazing. So I would tell them, future students, to just be excited rather than nervous, because I was nervous before I went, but once I got there, it was just incredible.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, it was. And like you said, just vibing with individuals that, like the same things, it really kind of energizes you, and for me, with students, I mean, I love kids. I think, they're amazing at all ages. So just to see you guys, perform and do what you love and be so great at it. The whole day I was giddy because it was just amazing to see you all. So I thank you both for being a part of the inaugural Poetry Slam Scholarship.
I had a great time.
Good.
It was really
Good.
And I really appreciate that there was actually scholarship like that, because it's hard to find scholarships that are outside of STEM a lot of times.
Right.
So something that appreciated the arts and poetry, especially like a poetry. Come on, I listen to so much. Yeah, so I really appreciated being able to be like, hey. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I want to thank Mandy for being here today and talking with us about her experience and what she's going to be doing. Eugenia is on her way back from DC, so I want to thank her for calling in and chatting with us about her experience. And I just want to let everybody know that next year we are having our Poetry Slam Scholarship again, a Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective, celebrating young poets and highlighting authors. So we're going to definitely be doing that from year to year. Eugenia, thank you so much for joining us via telephone on your way back home. Eugenia?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. That's all right. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, Mandy, thank you for being here.
It was a pleasure.
All right, thank you. And everyone, thank you for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones. We will see you next time. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. We're going to have some of our authors here that participated in the event. So I'm excited to share that. So thanks everybody for watching, and have a great night.